Welcome back to the show, everybody. Longtime viewers of Tomorrow Daily might recognize this face. He is a New York Times best-selling author, book Shrinkage. He is also an Adam Carolla sidekick.
And he is on the film podcast, Film Vault. We're excited to have Bryan Bishop with us. Bryan, Bald Bryan, you may know.
Bald
Sure,
Bryan.
yeah.
At
Thanks
Bald
for using my
Bryan.
full name. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
I'm very comforted to know, having listened to you for a long time, that you are in fact bald. It's
I am
not,
in fact
it's
bald.
not just a trick of radio.
It's not just an act, everyone. It's not just a gimmick to get over on the public.
Yeah.
No, this is the real deal.
It's the real deal. Not phony.
I lived that life.
You lived that
lived that bald life,
Lived
that's
that bald
right.
life. Also, just for our viewers who might have missed you from our LA studio when we were
First
back
of all, where were you?
I know,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no kidding, right?
Congrats, you're having a baby this year.
Yeah, it's true. I am having a little baby girl. I'm very excited about it. Due around the same time as your
Yeah,
little baby boy.
our lives are changing.
I know. How about a play date soon?
Let's do it.
And maybe we'll invite the kids and the wives too.
Yeah. VR play date.
Are you as terrified as I am?
I'm not. It's a weird thing. I feel like we've been trying for a while, and it's sort of like a long time coming. So we're excited. We're more. I mean, yes, I'm nervous for obvious reasons, but overall, we're excited. How about you?
Well, I'm definitely excited, and it's a positive feeling, but I'm definitely like, I don't know if I'm prepared for the level of change that my life is going to go through.
Yeah.
So-
when we turned our guest room into a baby room, started to turn the guest room into a nursery, is when I sort of shed my first tear. I'm like, oh, no more sleepovers
Yeah.
from friends and parents.
Yeah.
No more sleeping bag parties, no more pillow fights with your guests. I congratulate both of you, and I am just gonna wait. So everybody else is just having babies, and I'm like, I'll just see how that goes for all of you, and then I'll think about it.
We'll send you reports.
I have 3 very adorable dogs.
But you're a very busy person
Yeah,
for
you
someone
are-
who's going to have a child.
You have lots of stuff going on.
Nah, I have a medium amount of stuff going on.
So let's talk about, first of all, Film Vault.
Film
which
Vault.
you do with Anderson.
Yep.
You also do with producer Logan.
Producer Logan we allow him to hang out.
You allow him to chill.
He's the brains behind the operation, which is terrifying.
Same here.
Terrifying.
Same. You guys have you guys have been doing a really good job. We wanted to talk about summer movies with you.
Okay.
Because it is summer movie season
It is.
now,
We are on the precipice.
We're on the
The
precipice.
blockbusters, they are coming.
They are coming
And
fast and
I
furious.
think the little-known film Civil War, Captain America Civil War, will be kicking off film season
I'm
this
not quite
year.
sure what that obscure title
You know-
is. I wonder if we're going to hear much about that.
The marketing has been extremely... It's close to nothing.
They're
really.
playing it close to the vest.
Yeah,
really
right.
close to the best. I think they just want people to be surprised about it. Maybe just get some word of mouth out there.
Hey, Marvel, you might have a hit on your hands. Let people know about it.
Maybe, yeah. But it's a really big summer for movies. We thought last year would be a big summer, and it's turning out now. I think we're just going to start seeing these insane tentpoles every single year, just packed in to a very tight, like 5-month schedule.
Right. I hate the people who are too cool for school and hate on everything and are hipsters about it. But I feel like this may be, we'll see. This might be the summer of sequels and remakes and reboots that nobody asked for. I don't know where another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fits into my life. The first one was a little too much.
Well, you're not 10.
I was 10 when they first came out, thus I must have nostalgia for it. I was 10 when the Transformers came out, and I'm dying for every Transformer movie that can. Give me more G.I. Joe, please. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not so much.
Not so much.
Well, my nephew's excited.
Is he?
I'll
Okay,
tell you that. He's
fair
10.
enough.
Okay, maybe I'll see
I
him.
don't know.
Maybe I'll see him there when I go,
Maybe you
go
will.
to see it.
You're like, hey kid, are you excited about this? He's like, yes, and you're like, yeah, me. Like you just kind of like take all the joy out of his life.
Okay.
Don't sit next to any 10-year-old.
Okay, I won't bring him down. Are we allowed to talk about the fact that you saw Civil War? Is that?
Oh, yeah, we can actually. There's no
Okay.
We can
embargo or
talk about
anything.
it. There's no
We don't
embargo.
want to spoil anything for you, though.
No, don't spoil anything. Just tell me
Yeah.
what you thought. Give me your impressions. Give me your expectations.
I will act out my impressions in a dance that I've been working on.
An interpretive
It
dance,
goes like
please.
this.
For me,
It's
it was
the best.
more.
It was
For
the
me, it
best.
was more
Okay.
like.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it was
you're
such
better
You've
a
both seen it.
You're better at
huge. Yeah, I
dancing.
saw.
Oh,
I
wow.
saw it. I went to the premiere, and it
Okay.
was really fun.
It's a bit of a humble brag.
It is
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's not a humble
She
brag.
noticed how she just dropped that in.
gonna
It's
say.
a brag, you guys. I got to go to the premiere of Civil War. I sat like right down the row from Nathan Fillion, and that is also a brag. And it was great. The theater was packed full of people who are just really excited to see the movie, which I'm sure will be the case with you guys when you go see it. It was great.
Are
So
you
good.
on the Marvel train? Are you excited about the Marvel slate?
I'm excited about good movies, so I will give any good movie the proper respect it deserves. I feel like the beginning of this year has been really helpful because now we have a very effective scale for rating. We have the Deadpool to Batman v Superman scale. So I want to know where in the Deadpool to Batman v Superman scale does Civil War fall? Is it?
It's like,
ooh, it's almost at the top.
Yeah.
All right.
I would even
Deadpool's
say
pretty great.
maybe because Deadpool is more of a personal, individual film. But like, if you really look at, I don't know, it could be.
But quality is quality.
I would say right there.
Wow.
Equal.
There's a
It's
certain
great.
character that shows up that like I'm not even gonna lie. I shed a tear when that character showed up. The way that character is.
Oh, all right.
It's just wonderful.
Because
It's so good.
they kind of blow it in the trailer. At least one of the trailers I saw where Spider-Man shows up. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Okay. All right.
Maybe that's
Okay.
what I'm talking about. That's
'Cause
what I'm talking about.
If it's in the trailer, it's not a secret.
Right. Well, but okay. I'm just trying to be
that particular
kind
element.
to the people who are voting spoilers.
But the way they set it up, which you don't see in the trailers, makes it even better when he does show up in that moment.
Okay.
right. The way he's
great.
handled through the whole movie is
Excellent.
so great.
And that kid is Spider-Man. There's never been a better Spider-Man.
Really?
100%. Never
it's the
been
best
a better.
Spider-Man movie.
Tobey
of all.
Maguire
The best
can't
Spider-Man
suck
movie
it.
of all time is called Captain America.
It is. No, thus
War,
far,
wow.
the best Spider-Man movie is Civil War.
But now people are like, I'm angry about you
I
guys
know,
talking
I'm
about this thing.
enraged.
Let's talk about more of the movies you're excited about.
Yeah. What are you excited about this summer?
Christ.
What should you see?
I'm cautiously optimistic for this Ghostbusters reboot. I
Me
want
too.
so badly to want to like it. And
Yeah.
too.
I'm a fan of most, if not all, of the principal people involved. Paul Feig generally does not make bad movies. Spy, did you guys see Spy?
I did.
So Spy
good.
should have been a very bad movie. Spy looked bad in the trailers.
The trailer was terrible.
And it didn't have a lot going for it. But then I saw the movie, and it was very, very good. And I was like, this
so
is
funny.
a good filmmaker who is in charge, in mastery of his craft. Like, he is doing good
Sure.
things with maybe even limited resources. Resources being the material. Spy
Right.
was great. Bridesmaids, of course, was great. The Heat,
But
I
also,
thought was very good.
also all terrible trailers.
Yes.
I would say all awful trailers. So I have
point.
hope about
That's interesting.
Ghostbusters because they were
Okay.
all awful trailers. When I saw the trailer for Bridesmaids, I'm like, this movie looks so dumb. And then I saw it and said, what happened? This is a great movie.
Right.
Like, why did the trailer turn me off to this? I feel so sad that I waited so long to see it.
I had a similar reaction to the trailer for The Heat, which was, I know where this is going. It's a buddy film, and she's uptight, and she's crazy, and they become friends. But it was so much more than that. It was such a better
Right.
movie, and that's a sign of a director who's really like, at the top of his game.
Speaking of directors who are at the top of their game, what do you think about 4 more Avatar movies?
Yeah, let's discuss.
All right, well, okay. There's
wait.
good-
Before you start, what do you think of the first Avatar movie? Because I think that's going to actually inform the rest of the conversation.
Avatar was aight. Like, Avatar wasn't terrible. You cannot say Avatar was a bad movie. However, you cannot say Avatar was a great movie. It's aight. It was a B- maybe.
I
It was a-
loved it. I saw it
think-
6 times in the theater.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
loved
I
it.
think when you bring in the word unobtainium from a writing perspective, I get very upset.
I agree with that.
But I will say it was very beautiful, and I liked the message, the story sound was very nice, and I will see future Avatar movies.
As will I. Listen, you bring it back to, you started this whole thing off with the director. How many bad movies has James Cameron made?
Zero bad movies. He doesn't know how. He doesn't know how to make a bad movie.
He is by any reasonable definition, he is a masterful filmmaker. He
Sure.
makes between good and great films. So,
Well,
Avatar...
No, by your definition, he makes between I and great
Okay,
films.
fine. Avatar was above average. I will say it's above average. Yeah, I cannot
okay,
call it a
that's
bad
fair.
movie.
I also think the fact that he is challenging himself to this level when he doesn't have anything to prove. He doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to
That's
make
true.
4
He
movies
coast.
at one time.
He could go
He
George
could
Lucas
coast.
on us and just
He could
nail
just
it in.
never
but he's
he could
not.
never make another movie as long as he lives, and he would be fine.
But making 4 movies at once is Herculean.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think that shows how much he cares about this property.
That said, I don't know if I am to, of all of the James Cameron properties, I don't know if Avatar is the one that I want to see a lot more of. Like, I need more True Lies in my life. I need
Right.
more The Abyss. Like, I need movies
The
that
Abyss.
sort of, never had that life beyond. We have Alien movies and we have Terminator movies, and they've
Right.
gone in different directions, mostly down. But I need to see more of other stories. That said, James Cameron, good movie maker, good storyteller. I'll see another Avatar movie.
Fair enough. So I'm really curious about Suicide Squad. So I want to discuss the DC universe here because I think there have been a lot of rumors. If you have not been paying attention, Suicide Squad went into reshoots. Supposedly there were 3 weeks of reshoots because
That's not uncommon.
that's a whole movie in some
not
cases.
uncommon, though.
3 weeks?
There are
That's a lot.
movies that is typically a bad sign, but there are movies that have done well and even thrived because of the reshoots. And one that comes to mind is Anchorman. Anchorman had a whole nother subplot about someone got abducted, or they abducted an animal from the zoo, or there was some weird thing where it just didn't work. They reshot the whole thing. I mean, literally a third of the movie, and that was the part about the panda giving birth and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ended up being a much better movie. So they realized that this part wasn't working. They went around and fixed it. So do not throw the baby out with the bathwater with the reshoot part of it.
Do not throw the Harley out
with the
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what do you think of what you've seen thus far?
That's another one where I'm cautiously optimistic. That's one more where I'm guardedly optimistic. Like, I want so bad to love this movie, and I want it to be good, and I want it to be the superhero movie that we all need, a la Deadpool, but I'm also terrified that it might fall on its face and fall victim to the pressure to be funny, or exactly, the pressure to do what Batman v Superman didn't do, which was just be so self-serious and so
grimdark.
Grim. It's been beaten to death.
Gritty, grimdark. Instead of Hungry Hippos, that's what I refer to as gritty, grimdark.
The most depressing toy you can get for your kid.
That's very true.
Gritty,
Scowling Batman. Although, I mean, we've talked about it. I thought Ben Affleck was great as Batman.
I'm
the most skeptical about that character, and that was the one that I walked away the most impressed with.
I stand alone on an island as not liking Ben Affleck in that movie. I thought he was one of the worst parts of the movie.
Really?
But you're with everyone else. Everyone else said, "Oh, Ben Affleck was the best part of the movie."
Who's your favorite Batman?
Wow.
Well, wait.
Adam West.
We're separating Bruce Wayne and Batman because I'm going to ask you next who is the best Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Can't separate. They're the same.
No.
It's such an obvious answer. It has to be Christian Bale. He brought such
Keaton, baby.
Michael Keaton was a great Bruce Wayne, I think, and but Christian Bale is so great, and he brought a physicality to the role, whereas Michael Keaton never really. He's a smaller guy, and I never really bought him beating up and threatening and blah blah. Whereas the part where Christian Bale brings a physicality to the role, and you buy him as the Dark Knight, the guy who terrorizes and terrifies villains and criminals. You buy that because he's an intimidating figure.
Do you buy it though? On top of the fact that you've seen Christian Bale in American Psycho, and so there's like that duality to his, that you've already seen it.
I can't separate.
He's bringing full Bale to the role.
You're bringing Bale baggage.
Legacy.
You're bringing Bale baggage into because that's what it felt like. Why we liked it so much was because we saw him play American Psycho, and it was just like that guy could be Bruce Wayne, right? Like not quite a serial killer. He was just a vigilante instead of a serial killer. Like you'd buy it.
His Bale Baggins.
I'm predisposed to loving almost everything Christian Bale does because of American Psycho. So
Fair enough.
It didn't hurt, but you know what? Credit to the producers for finding that guy who was so great as that thing and making him a slightly different version of that thing.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
I don't think I could possibly narrow it down, although American Psycho is probably in that top 25 range. I was just thinking about, totally random, but I was thinking about how rare it is to see a movie now, like a current movie, and you're like, that's one of the all-time greats, and that is now in my top 20 or 25.
Sure.
I saw Whiplash, last year or a year and a half ago now, and that is in my top 25 all time. And you're thinking top 25? That's not that. It's all kind of a lot of. No, that's not that many movies. That's a very small list.
Small list.
If you've seen a lot of movies,
right.
Yeah, which you do.
Well, I've seen a fair amount of movies.
I think that's because we formulate sort of who we are and what we love at an earlier age, and it's harder to hold current stuff up to the things that formed your love of cinema.
Yes, you have a nostalgic crystallization in your mind. Movies that you loved as a teenager, a young man, a woman, whatever it is.
What was your favorite movie last year?
Favorite movie last year? The Big Short was my favorite of the big Oscar movies. I was kind of hoping that would win. I love the storytelling. I love the way it took a very. I held it in stark contrast to Spotlight in that they both took very serious, semi-recent, true historical subjects, and one was a Batman v Superman style slog to the end where nothing surprising happened and nothing fun or joy. Granted, it's a very heavy subject.
Why don't they bring fun to the
that seems very difficult.
But The Big Short was also about very serious, heavy stuff where people lost their jobs and people lost their lives.
But you can bring in moments of levity.
They told the story in such a unique, interesting way, and almost there was a joy of filmmaking. I'm not talking about like the fun ha ha ha. It was like you could tell there was bursting at the seams with ideas.
We're excited about what we're making right now.
And they could have done different things with Spotlight, and thus A Big Short was my favorite of the Oscar movies. And just to answer your first question, my favorite movie last year was Sicario. Sicario was brilliant.
Such a good movie.
Was brilliant. I loved it.
I would agree with you that Big Short brought a novel approach to conveying the information. I just didn't think it worked. I didn't think
Really?
because I didn't come away from, especially those bits where they stepped out and spoke to the camera and said, I didn't come away understanding the concept. Like the gambling scene, which was, I think, a really brilliant way to convey that idea. I still went, wait a minute, I don't understand what this scene is actually trying to tell me.
Interesting.
So,
How much gambling do you do?
a fair amount.
Okay.
He has a problem.
I'm trying to
do.
figure out what the problem is.
No,
Yeah,
but
I
I
thought that was a
understood. I
really
understood
good-
the metaphor. I understood how it worked in the context of a crap game. I just didn't understand how that related to
the
you know,
real world.
to the
Okay.
shorting
Fair enough.
stocks.
We're going to have this is going to be a much longer discussion because we all love movies. So we have to wrap everything up. But
I'll be back tomorrow.
That's right, you're back
Good.
tomorrow.
And we'll finish this.
We don't have a show tomorrow, but you can come back anyway and talk
I'll
to
be
us.
here. Turn the cameras on.
Just
Logan.
turn the cameras on. Last question. What is the movie you think everybody should see that they have not seen of all
Ever?
time?
Oh, of all time? Oh,
What's
wow.
the movie
That's a
that,
tough question.
that people should absolutely see that they probably have not
I'm
seen?
not sure. I could even answer
Holy
that.
smokes.
I'd say Shakes the Clown.
Interesting.
She's got that just in the hip pocket, ready to pull out.
I didn't see that.
No, my
coming.
husband gave me that, showed me that movie years and years ago, and I'm like, all right. Or I would say Death to Smoochie is another movie. It's terrible, but I love it.
I didn't see those coming. And when people ask me my favorite comedy of all time, I will often give the answer of Groundhog Day. It is really that brilliant. I feel like a lot of the viewers of the show probably have seen that movie.
Maybe we have some young viewers though. It's
Okay.
viewers who maybe
If you haven't seen
it.
Groundhog Day, it is transcendentally
Masterclass.
brilliant. Yeah, it is
comedy.
a brilliant comedy. If you have seen that and you're like, oh, how about a different movie? Viewers of the Film Vault will probably laugh at this because I bring it up. I used to bring it up all the time. Haven't brought it up in a while. But have you guys seen the original Manchurian Candidate?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It is a
Great film.
brilliant movie.
Yeah,
It holds up.
Redford's in that, right?
No, you're thinking of, oh no, that is Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra's the lead in the Manchurian Candidate, and
it's
Angela
brilliant.
Lansbury and Frank Sinatra and
Good
Lawrence
old
Harvey.
Angela Lansbury.
It is a brilliant movie. Holds up for a movie from 1962 or whatever it was. It was de facto banned for many years because
Right,
it was
Hayes-
right
Hayes
right
Code.
before Kennedy got assassinated. About a presidential assassination attempt. Kennedy gets assassinated. The movie's buried
no.
for decades, and finally came around in the late 80s, and has not been seen by enough people. The black and white part turns off a lot of people, I think, especially
do it.
younger viewers.
Just do it.
But man, oh man, it'll grip you.
And bonus,
And don't watch the remake.
if you watch it before you watch Civil War, you'll get a reference in Civil War.
It's true.
Wow.
You will.
Okay.
There is a Manchurian Candidate reference in Civil War. That is all the time we have. You can read Brian's book, Shrinkage, New York Times bestseller. It's on the list.
Yeah, join the rest of the world.
Yeah, join.
You're the only one who hasn't read it yet.
You haven't read it yet, so you should read that. And then you can also check out the Film Vault, and then you can find him at Bald Brian, right?
On Twitter,
the
Bob
Twitter.
Bryan, the Adam Carolla Show on iTunes, as well as the Film Vault. Enjoy.
Thanks
Thank
for being
you so
here.
much.
Thanks for having me, you guys. I'll come back and talk movies anytime. Sounds
Yes, we'll be right back with Back at Her Hackett and our Into It.